Okay, let's watch this one. Oh dear. Oh, I know where this is going. I know where this is going. All right. We've got an Asmongold video. This is disgusting.
You're a boy, right?
No, I'm a girl.
Who told you you were a girl?
What?
Mommy.
When did she tell you you were a girl?
Because I love girls.
What the
Oh,
hell?
I see. So mommy told you you were a girl?
Uh-huh.
The state of California says that I have to pay for the chemical and physical castration of my son as child support.
What?
I'm not going to pay that child support. I'm not going to pay anything to hurt my son.
That means you'll be going to
Dude,
prison?
California is going to send me to prison.
this is exactly what I was talking about before. When I was talking about like kind of the overreach of this kind of stuff, that how people before, I think were kind of, I really do think this, that like just like in my experience of like dealing with people online and like dealing with people online, dealing with people in like in real life, and like you know, understanding like how people thought about like different topics of like LGBT topics and stuff like that. People didn't really care that much about like LGBT stuff and trans stuff. Nobody really cared. Like in like a good way. People were kind of like, you know, whatever, like, you know, you should do whatever you want. It's your life. It's fine. You know, I'm happy with that. And I think that was like the general sentiment of like most people. And of course there's like a small percentage of people that were like really fucking pissed off anyway. And they were just like, yeah, like I fucking hate gay people and hate trans people. Of course, there's like a small percentage of people like that. But most people, I think the general population just didn't really care as long as it didn't affect them. They were just kind of like, whatever, just don't tell me like, you know, whatever, right? This kind of thing right here is exactly what has swung the pendulum so hard in the other way, that like people are actually starting to resent like the trans movement because of this, basically. So like this whole thing has undercutted like the entire point of a lot of like, you know, LGBT, specifically trans stuff, where like the sentiment of like how the average person feels about trans rights is set back probably like 20 years. Like I really think that it's because of like this is a step too far for people, and now people are saying like, you know, fuck it, like we're gonna go all the way, like fuck you guys, basically. And I think that's what's happening.
Prison for that.
What? So, Jeff, you are going through something. You've been going through something that is probably a father's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Tell me when this started.
Started when my son was about 2 years old. My ex-wife, who's a pediatrician in Capel, Texas.
Oh my God, she's a doctor too.
Started thinking that he might be a girl.
2 years old.
2 years old.
What the fuck? 2 years old?
What? Holy shit.
And started trying to...
You want to know what I actually think though? And I'm gonna be real. I don't think a lot of this is even related to trans stuff at all. I really don't. I don't think that people who are actually trans are the ones causing this. I don't think so. I have a feeling it's basically people virtue signaling. It's people virtue signaling, and then on the other side, it's also degenerates. Like absolute fucking degenerates, or like they're the ones causing this. Has nothing to do with like actual people who are trans and just want to be left alone. This is like people using it for their advantage in order to look like they're better people, and then absolute degenerates, like working hand in hand. They're like teaming up.
Transition him to a girl. And when I tried...
just me Space Cowboy says it's Munchausen by proxy. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Actually, it's so that they can farm clout. They can farm clout by like by parading their kid around as like trans and like make people feel sorry for them.
To put a stop to that, she filed for divorce and used her relationships with care providers to force me out of my house. And so I moved about a mile up the road from my sons.
Oh my
she
God.
filed for divorce formally, and I had 50-50 custody of him. And just after his 3rd birthday, you know, I took the first iPhone video I'd ever taken, and it was him telling me that he thought he was a girl because his mommy tells him a girl. You can go on YouTube and just search for "mommy says I'm a girl." You'll find that video.
That is grooming, man. Like, how is a parent trying to like groom their kid into being trans at 2 and 3 years old? That's insane.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
true.
Crazy.
That's so true. Thank you for the bit, Saratoga. Thank you. It says it's auto gotta Felix asked Kirsha about it. Yeah.
Her in jail. Yes, this is nuts. Look at the video now.
I don't know about being disgusting, but they need help. They need help, and we need to like not really encourage it if like in that specific case, I think. And again, I'm not talking about like trans people.
It was the beginning of this. Like, just like go back like literally 1 minute in the VOD and you'll see it. This is nuts.
Yeah. She was telling him things like, you know, she would put him into timeout and say,
They're the people doing it out of fetishes or kinks. That's kind of what I mean. It's like degeneracy, like being pushed on like on people, especially kids. Like that's like the huge thing. Is I think a lot of people draw the line with kids because kids are particularly vulnerable, and they're particularly vulnerable, like both in a lot of ways. One of them being their mental state.
"Don't be a boy. The monsters only eat boys," and weird things like this.
What the fuck? Monsters only eat boys? Dude. What the fuck? How?
Bro.
Yeah, what the hell? Exactly.
How do you let this happen? This is insane. Yes,
Dude,
this
for
is
real.
straight up wrong. Yes, it is. This is awful. It's not even nuts. She needs to be sent to an asylum as soon as possible. I think that a lot of women, like, and this is especially true, I think women fall victim.
Yeah. Asylum.
To this more often, is that like the social messaging and like the moral virtue of being trans, I think causes women to have like a
like honestly, like on the trans issues, I'm like pretty much aligned with Asmongold.
So there's a fucking issue, like a mental disorder. It's called Munchausen by proxy.
Yeah, exactly. That's
And
what you guys
it's
are saying
where
in chat.
a parent basically like either gets their kid sick or pretends like their kid is really sick in order to basically farm sympathy and farm attention.
Yep,
from
they just
having-
want clout, basically. It's like it's like giga clout in like those circles. In those circles, it's giga clout, basically.
a sick kid. And so I view the parents that are like grooming kids to be trans as like, I mean, and again, we're not even talking about like 14. We're talking about 2 and 3 years old. Okay. They don't even know what gender is yet, really.
Yeah, I thought that was a dinosaur when I was a kid. Yeah, I thought it was a dinosaur.
And like you're grooming your kid to do this.
So I was watching Land Before Time, and I thought that was a dinosaur.
Like this is a mental disorder, right? I mean, this woman there's something wrong with her, man. Yeah, like straight up something wrong with her.
Which dinosaur? Ankylosaurus was my favorite because it has armor and a mace.
And it's insane that like I can't see anybody who could just not come to this obvious conclusion that she's nuts. Yes, it's insane. He's not too, bro? Well, he was in the video where at the beginning, actually,
That's your second favorite Grimbo.
they said he was 3. So that's not it. Yeah, so he's 3. I think that's a little bit better, right? Let's see here. And I remember his documentaries, and a woman would
Triceratops is pretty strong too. It's got like 3 weapons.
hospitalize themselves regularly. Yeah, and so
Stego
that's
good
what
too. Stego
happens.
good, yeah.
And I
Dude, T-Rex was like, dude, that was like so. Everybody wanted to be the T-Rex. The T-Rex, dude, it was so basic, man. It was either T-Rex or Velociraptor. That's what everybody wanted to be. It was a T-Rex or a Velociraptor. Basic bitch choices, man. Honestly,
I'm shocked that people don't like put up with this even in a slightest amount. This is crazy. It was 2 whenever she began grooming. Yeah, according to him, that's true.
And she began to then socially
dude, it was because of Beast Wars. Beast Wars had that cool Velociraptor, dude. I forgot what his name was. He was really cool though.
Titanic battle in the state of Texas that culminated in me getting the procedures outlawed in Texas.
Good for him.
And the political establishment in Texas allowing her to come to
Dinobot.
California so she could still castrate him even though I got it outlawed.
Oh my God.
Had your son, you have 2 sons.
I have 2 sons, James and Jude. They're twins. They're not identical.
Okay.
James is the one that she's transitioning.
And was there any sign in James that he was open to this or showing signs that he wanted to be anything other than
Well, you know, it's interesting.
So this is like kind of like, do you guys remember like just the sheer amount of celebrities that had trans kids? There already aren't a lot of like celebrity people, but then a disproportionate amount of celebrity kids were trans.
So he was directly asked that by counselors and stuff, but
How are counselors asking a child what gender they think they are? What's going on? How is it? This is insane. He's brainwashed. Yeah. Also, like, of course you have a kid. Like, if the mom is sitting there this is like you have kids that are like radical, religious people, right? Like kids that are like hyper racist. If you have a 5-year-old that's hyper racist and they know a bunch of racial slurs, they didn't spawn in that way, man.
Yeah,
they had a little bit of help.
Dude, yeah, they didn't. That's crazy, man.
let me just tell you about one of the fundamental
Racist
facts of
build
the case
is
that
crazy.
a lot of people find shocking. James never presented as a girl with anyone but his mom. At church.
Because he wanted to make her happy. Because she would like whenever he would act like a girl. That's probably what happened.
With me, with his friends, he dressed as a boy and called himself James. He only presented as a girl with his mom.
Dude, this is so fucked up. What the hell? What the hell is this? How are they getting away with this?
And I asked him one time, why are you doing that? And he just flat out told me, he said, well, mommy doesn't love me if I'm not a girl.
Yep. Well, there it is. It's just like I said. I mean, a lot of these women are just fucking insane. And I don't know really how it gets to this extreme. Like, I'm not sure, like, is it something where, like, what's her relationship with the other kid, right? Her other son. You know, like, what's the relationship with this? Is it because, like, this is somehow like a, you know, like she's getting a divorce, so now she hates all men and she doesn't want to be around men, so she's making her young boy son a girl? Like, I don't know. Is she doing this for like social validation? Like, I always wonder about that. Like, why does a person do this?
And that's what he told the counselors too. James is a very talented boxer.
By the way, this is the reason why people call it a woke mind virus. This is like straight up a perversion of the mind. If you are looking to defend this in any way, shape, or form, you have completely lost the plot.
Yeah.
You are
Basically,
totally out of your fucking mind.
basically, you lose everybody at this point. Like, if this is like the hill that if this is the hill that you're willing to die on, then everything else you say, nobody gives a shit anymore. Like, literally, you could anything else doesn't matter. It's one ear and out the other. People don't care anymore. Once you try to say like that this is okay and this is fine, and that this is how it should be, then anything else you say is ineffective to most normal people, basically.
This is not acceptable. It's not okay. This is creepy, weird. This is child grooming. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. These are children, and we're not even talking about 16 again.
Just
we're
2
talking
years
about,
old.
You know, they're
3
not
years
even
old.
in school yet. It's deranged. Yeah, it's an accessory to these people. Yeah.
You know, another thing, what it might, and I'm just trying to speculate here. I wonder if the mom wanted a girl. So like if she wanted like a girl and then she got 2 boys, maybe she was like, yo, maybe I could just trade one in, you know, just what if I just turn this one into a girl and then I'll have a girl. You know, I wonder if that like factors into it at all. It probably still fucked up. Yeah, I mean obviously I'm not defending it. I'm just trying to get like I'm trying to get a pulse on like what the psychology is here, right?
I'm a boxer. My dad was a boxer.
Swap the kid.
James is extremely talented. Jude's a wrestler, but James is a very talented boxer. Olympic talent scouts were looking at him. He's that good.
Good for him.
And they backed away from him once this all got started. He has all boyfriends.
Yeah, sure.
Now, he has some things that you might say are feminine. He likes art. He particularly likes paint.
He likes art and he likes the color pink. That means he really wants to be a girl.
And pastels.
Right.
My son Jude likes sculpture, you know. James is also more extroverted. And
So this is why he's a girl. Is
Yep,
because
he likes to play inside of the house. Yo, this is femboy and this is femboy and tomboy erasure. That's what this is, guys. Our people are being affected by this. We're literally being genocided.
he likes art and painting. Uh-huh.
is willing to play with almost
Sure.
anybody, you know. And he will definitely play with girls. He'll play tag
Yeah, tomboys.
with girls. He'll build things with girls. He has no problem like hanging around with girls. But in terms of
They're just trying to convert all the tomboys into like actual boys, and they're trying to convert all the femboys into actual girls.
having a desire to be a girl, he consistently told me,
Yeah, did you guys hear that? Wait, do you guys like girls? Like, do you guys like waifus? You guys do, right, chat? You do? Well, there you have it. You're all trans. You're all trans. I have so many trans people in my chat. Holy shit.
for 10 years that he had no desire to be a girl. He told the court-appointed counselor that he was embarrassed to wear dresses to school. He was getting too
There it is. I know. There it is.
Whoa.
According to their logic, that's what it is, right?
old for that and didn't want to wear dresses. And they initiated a CPS investigation against me for forcing him to be a boy. And my
Oh my god.
Average divorced dad experience.
True. Dude, like the court system is so fucked up to like guys. Dude, if you want to talk about inequality, guys, when it comes to like child what's the word? Like parental rights for divorced dads, and like if you want to talk about inequality, custody. That's right. That's what I was looking for. Custody.
Yep. Well, there it is. Oh my god.
Like, dude, literally as crazy as possible.
God, how does this happen? Do you remember what I said before, guys? There's 2 groups of people in the world that are causing all of our problems, and the main
Karens.
one is Karens.
True.
That's it.
CPS investigation.
This is like Asmongold. I'm pretty sure Asmongold's the first one to say that, and it's like, it's amazing actually. It's so true. It's so true.
Sons now?
No, I'm disallowed all contact with my sons.
You're not allowed to even contact them.
No.
Wow.
I'll tell you how this all sort of built up.
Wow.
So she started transitioning him, really hardcore at 3. I mean, where she
3
presented
years
him to
old?
the world with a fake girl's name and everything.
Oh my god! I paused at the same time.
Bro.
I literally hit pause at the same time as Asmon. Yeah, what the fuck,
Bro,
man?
how is every single person in the country not immediately saying this woman needs to have the kid taken away from her?
Yup.
This is, put her in jail. This
You know what's probably true though is there's probably a lot of people that are against this that are like, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved because I don't want to get freaking destroyed. I don't want to get fired from my job or anything like that. Because they will try to get you, like these people, they will dox you, they will harass you, they will try to get you fired. I mean, look at what they're doing to Tesla. Right? Look what they're doing to Tesla. Like you could just be like an innocent person. You have nothing to do with this, and like they'll try to set your car on fire. Yeah, they don't want to be the target. Yeah,
this is sexual.
they just want to live their life basically. Like they don't agree with it, but like, ain't my problem.
Grooming. This is sick.
This, of course, would have been an important component in the divorce that was going on.
Of course.
So we get to 2017, and we have our divorce trial. And
Do you think I wonder if they got divorced over this issue? I don't know what the answer is to that.
we had a custody evaluator. His name is Blake Mitchell. He practices out of Frisco, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas.
Okay.
And he asked me, what is your top issue? And I said, my top issue is she's tampering with my son's gender identity.
Yeah.
So he charges me $60,000 and does a 1-year investigation of my family, interviewing my children over and over again, everything, and determines that she was not transitioning my son to a girl. He straight up lied to the court and said that I had made a false accusation against her
Honestly, I want to see that report. I actually want to see like what's in that.
for saying that she was trying to transition my son to a girl. And on that basis, I lost.
But the thing, okay, so the thing is I kind of, all right, part of me wants to be like, I want to see the report. I want to make sure like what this guy is saying is true. But like, if this happened at 2 years old and 3 years old, there's no way it couldn't be true. Right? Like, if that part is true, if the timeline is true, then it doesn't matter, basically, right? Because it's 2 and 3 years old. There's no way a kid knows enough to say like that's what they are at that age. At least, well, okay. So it's possible a kid would say that, but there's no way that they would definitively know that that's the case until way later, right? Again, it's a very complex decision, and kids say all sorts of shit. Like I said, I was a dinosaur, and I told my friends I was a plant at one point. I went like full, what was that? I went full like Sidonia, and I just like laid down on the grass. It's like I'm photosynthesizing right now.
50.
Well, I mean, couldn't they just cross-reference it with him saying this to the, like, this is crazy. What the fuck?
50 custody and got less than standard possession time. So I basically got, 4 to 6 days a month with my sons. So that's how the divorce ended, with the psychologist just outright lying. Now, I've been lucky with these psychologists that lie. I've been able to prove they've lied. So the court actually set aside his report. But
This is insane.
It is, yeah.
Revoke his license? Yeah, if he lied.
that's what he actually told the court in his report.
Exactly.
So she then starts really ramping up it again, and now he's wearing makeup at school.
Oh boy.
He's using the girls' restroom at his elementary school. Which
What the teachers
Elementary,
let this happen?
elementary school.
The teachers are enabling this?
they're probably encouraging it. The teachers. Let's be real.
Oh my God. It's California? This is insane.
Shai says that the teachers in Cali have very little power to stop something like this. True. That is true. Because what are they gonna do? They're gonna speak out about it, and they're just gonna get in trouble. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
No, they moved to Cal. So after he got divorced, his wife moved because they had the if I remember the story correctly, he got I think at some point they got some laws changed in Texas. And then they moved to California, basically, to evade it.
How is this even real?
Which was Pinkerton Middle School in Coppell, Texas. I got that school shut down. That school doesn't exist anymore in Coppell. They shut down. Got rid of the principal there. Her name is
what?
Miss Mickelson, who's the one that really transitioned my son.
So it's another Karen. What is happening? What the fuck?
It was Texas?
I don't even...
Okay, so it was Texas. All
And
right.
I found out...
It's a Karen coalition. It is. It is. They were in Texas. I guess so. I feel horrible for
Is it like Austin?
this man. Yes.
I like how anytime something like this happens in Texas, Texans automatically blame Austin, regardless of if it actually happened in Austin or not. Austin is always blamed.
Oh my God. That's in Texas or California?
Oh, that's Austin.
They were in
Yeah, it's
Texas,
just Austin.
And then after Texas seemingly wasn't putting up with it, then they moved to California.
The reason why is a lot of big tech moved to Austin. Austin is a kind of a tech hub. I know this because of my mom's work. But Austin's like kind of a tech hub, so that's why a lot of like the culture from like California moved to Austin.
Out after 2.5 years.
The same thing happened in Colorado, by the way. That's why Colorado also had the same thing happen.
They had been transitioning my son secretly behind my back. So I would bring my son to Pinkerton Middle School in Coppell in boys' clothes, because he wears boys' clothes with me, and they would give him a dress.
Here's the thing that kind of is weird. Why does it have to be a dress? Like, what's going on?
And the entire school got shut
You had to
down
go like maximum girl. Like, why?
for this. What the actual fuck? This is crazy. This is insane. Social contest is a massive problem if real. I feel like, I generally, I mean, if the school got shut down, the court denied this.
Do you not wear dresses? Sometimes. I'm more of a tracksuit kind of person.
I feel like there's got to be some truth in this, right? I mean, like, because this is like multiple points of reference where it's confirmed. There are court reports public, it's real? Yeah. Okay, so there's public court reports of this.
And tell him to use the girls' bathroom.
I'm like more like Leaf is Russian. Maybe I am, comrade.
So wait a minute.
No, I also like pleated skirt, tights, hoodie. That's like peak for me. That's like the absolute peak fashion.
So he's being groomed by school administrators to go into the bathroom of the other gender? Oh my God. How are these people not in jail? This is insane. Really, this is crazy.
And when I found that out, I filed grievances against the public school.
Idea.
And of course, they exonerated themselves, saying that under their nicknames policy, They're allowed to call him whatever he wants.
That's true, but what about the dress? And what about the bathrooms?
And
Well, I mean, according to him though, he said that oh my God. According to, okay, so according to him, he calls his kid goes by whatever their birth name is. Oh, was it James? Goes by that with the dad and friends. So is the kid just that scared of like his mom? Like he's just that scared of the mom that the mom is gonna like not like them?
they're allowed to put him in dresses because he wants to wear it and it doesn't harm him in any way. And so
I'm not gonna lie though, I've seen some really psycho parenting shit happen. I remember I remember when, oh my God, dude, this just awoke like a dark memory. I remember when I was a kid, my aunt wanted to take a picture of me in a, you know, those, in the carnival, what is it called? The wheels, those giant wheels. And they're like, they go up really high. And like you said, this Ferris wheel, right? Ferris wheel? Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, my aunt wanted to take a picture of me from the ground, like of me in the Ferris wheel. And I don't like heights. I don't like heights. So I said, I don't want to do that. And she was like, no, go do it. And I said, I don't want to. And she said, if you don't, you can't play Zelda for a week. And so like, I had to do it. You know, I had to do it because I wanted to play Ocarina of Time. Yeah, and so like I basically like I was scared as shit and like I didn't want to do it, but I did it for that, right? And so it kind of like reminds me of like I could totally see people doing stuff like that for clout.
there was just no place to go. It's virtually impossible in Texas to sue a school district because they have sovereign immunity.
Why?
So this kept ramping up with my ex-wife.
See, the problem of why this happens is that the individual teachers that are doing this don't get held accountable for, like, basically child grooming, which is, I think, what should happen. And this is the reason why this kind of stuff propagates so much, is that there's like an administrative bureaucracy for this that kind of enables these people to just do awful stuff. They aren't allowed to force and supersede parental rights. Yeah. And so, anyway, sue the teachers. Yes, exactly.
And the thing is like, again, is this really? So if you think about this, is this really even the fault of the? I don't think you can blame this though on trans people. I really don't think you can. Like this is people trying to use they're trying to use again, and they do this to minorities too, where they try to use the plight of like someone else as clout for themselves. Right? Like they do this all the time with like racial stuff, where they use somebody else's like social issues in order to get themselves buffed for like how sympathetic that they are.
Exactly. And well, you don't sue them, you hold them criminally responsible for doing this. That's the way that you solve this problem. I'm a very big believer in individual personal accountability that directly affects the person that is doing the action.
Chai says, I feel like trans people wouldn't want to force anything on anyone like this. They've had to deal with that themselves, and I can't imagine them wishing it on anyone. That's probably the case.
I think that's how you solve a problem.
No, but see, they use this and they use everyone's issues and they tank the issue. They're literally cannibalizing the issue for their own benefit at the expense of people that actually do need understanding. Which is like, if you think about it, that's like doubly, if not triply disgusting. It's like it's maximum disgusting to do that.
Because if there's no real consequence for this, it just happens. But the moment that it's kind of like, for example, do you remember what I was saying about how like
For their
all the
own personal
polls were saying that,
benefit.
like Kamala Harris would win, but then everybody who was betting on it said Trump would win? Well, people have a very more realistic view of the world the moment that they have any money in the game, they have any skin in the game. So the way that you solve this problem is that you make people accountable directly for what they're doing. And that
there is like a significant lack of accountability.
Just go away instantaneously.
True.
And so everybody is always willing to have these high-minded, weird ideals because they never have to suffer any consequences for them. But the moment that you add in consequences, this stuff immediately falls apart. So in my opinion, I think that the mom and I think the teachers that were found to be cooperating with and encouraging the student to go in the opposite gender bathrooms, I think that they need to be brought up on some form.
By the way, I you guys already know who Asmongold is, but like, that's a good freeze frame. But I really like this about Asmongold. Like, even though I don't really agree with him on everything, there's a lot of like points that I disagree with Asmongold on. I really like how he comes about, like his path to his take. I really appreciate that, like how he actually sees things. I think in a very balanced way. I really, really like it.
Of criminal charge
compared to like other people that talk about political stuff. I think Asmongold has like the most like fair and balanced like way of looking at it, even if I don't agree with the conclusion.
Personally, because that's what they've done. And that's the real solution for something like this. And you punish them.
For the cases, I disagree with Asmongold's hairline personally.
Directly, you make an example out of them as an individual, because shutting down the school, they just go work somewhere else.
Dude, I saw people in the comments calling me Asmon girl. I fucking hate it, man. What the fuck? What the fuck, you guys?
It doesn't really affect their life in the same way that like a sex charge would. And it should, by the way. It should. This is what should happen. Mom, where's the crime? I think that...
Your room is probably cleaner. Well, I mean, okay, guys, listen. I have only one bottle on the floor right now. I have one bottle on the floor and one on my desk. So it's not too bad today. It's been worse. There we go. Now no bottle on the floor. I threw it away. Bottle of water is water.
Grooming a child in a sexual way, especially before they even understand sexuality at all.
Phoenix So Good says it's a piss bottle. And how the fuck do you think that would work? How could I possibly have a piss bottle?
Is sexual exploitation of
a funnel. You know, it's easier to go to the bathroom at that point, right? You know, it's easier to like walk to the bathroom and then take a piss than use a funnel.
Child. I think that it is.
Because then you have to wash the funnel after. Like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna leave like a piss stained funnel like on the ground. Like, are you kidding me?
And I think it's disgusting. It is. It's grooming. It's abuse. Yes, exactly. Falls under child abuse? Yes, it is.
You'd have to do like a catheter.
So finally, I look in the medical records with my ex-wife chose a pediatrician, Dr. Jennifer Pape, in Flower Mound, Texas, where I live. And Dr. Pape, in the medical records, it says that her and Miss
Gamer catheter. That's so fucking nasty. You guys are crazy. You guys are...
Georgulas, my ex-wife, were planning on chemically castrating James at age 8 or 9. That's plain black and white in the medical records.
You guys remember when they said that they're not doing this? Remember, guys, don't look. We're not doing this. What you guys? What? You guys are crazy. Why would we do that? What? Transing kids? What? We would never do 8 or 9. What?
So obviously, I start to vociferously oppose this. I try to
See, this is why does she still have a license, right? Why isn't she in jail?
get a new
Yep, there needs to be consequences.
pediatrician. I have to go to court to try to get a new pediatrician. That leads her to file another lawsuit against me for sole control of James.
So they were at what age were they looking to do this?
At this,
The
at age 8 or
noticer,
9.
let's just say I've been noticing a lot of things lately. A lot of things that are I don't want to notice. Many things I don't want to notice, but I'm noticing, and I hate it. I hate it so much.
They were going to chemically castrate him.
It's insane, man. It really is.
That's crazy.
Like, I've seen some of this stuff that's happened, and it's unreal that there's anybody putting up with this even for a second. Mother should be stripped of a medical license, lose all custody, and promptly jailed. This is what I think should happen. Like, this is the kind of stuff, in my opinion, that I think like the government and like especially even federal government should look into, because examples like this are just, I mean, it's just sick. And the fact that
No, I wouldn't want to go back into the Matrix. Have you guys ever seen like dude, there's like this video going around right now on X called Matrix 2025. Dude, that video is so funny.
there's like an apparatus that's protecting
Or you're looking at the man in the red dress.
this woman, and the worst part is that not only are they protecting
What, man? Turn around.
her, they are enabling and
so
like
funny.
making her more powerful. They're protecting her and enabling her to do this even more. So did you see the video with the police officer yet? Yeah, I know it's coming up. Don't worry, I'll get to it. And she's a pediatrician. What the fuck? Yeah, exactly. And link to the video. It was just a Reddit post. I don't know what this is exactly at all. And you see all these people. Look at all these reports. Like, these people don't want the truth to get out.
Yep.
It's not.
The reason why they do this is because that's the only defense that they have, is by concealing the truth, piling it on, calling it other things, like saying like it's covering it under like that's Nazi rhetoric, that's fascist, that's Hitlerian. They basically pile on all of this shit on top of it to try to obscure like what's actually going on. That if you even try to look into it or even talk about it, like, you're the enemy. And they do that because there's no logic behind it. Like, the things that they say, they don't really hold up to logic. So like, they have to do this. It's the only defense, it's the only play that they have, because the instant like any sort of real discussion touches it, it blows it up instantly.
I mean, I don't know why it's so hard to understand. Dude's going to jail for his baby mama's child abuse. Convincing a child is the opposite gender is a form of sexual abuse. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll die on this hill and I don't give a fuck. Yeah, well, the thing is that you need to start charging people for it. Because, again, the reason why this stuff happens is because... So let me explain why this happens. I think that a lot of people have these viewpoints and they try to transition...
You want to know... You want to know what this is, basically? You know how actually a perfect illustration of like what has caused all of this today nowadays is, we used to have a rule. The top rule that we have on stream, and this is like a community rule. This is like the stream chat rule. Is number 1 is it might be like number 8 at this point, but it was don't make me have to make more rules, right? But what happens is people habitually, they continually line step. They step the line, and then you have to make a rule for that line step. And that's exactly what you're seeing right now. There are people line stepping, and so you have to make rules that affects everybody, right? And like, I'm sure, and I think this is an awful thing. There's going to be rules that are made that affect trans people and gay people that have nothing to do with any of this. They literally like they follow the law. They stay in their lane. They kind of just follow along with society on the peripheries of society, just trying to live their lives. And those people are going to be affected by these psycho people that continuously step over the line. And you have to create rules for the people that step over the line. It's the same thing with cheating, right? You can use a gaming analogy that you can understand. The reason we have anti-cheats, right, is because there are cheaters. The reason why you have to have kernel anti-cheats is because of cheaters. Do you think the game company wants to create like a thing that you have to install that has to have access to like a completely invasive level of access to your computer? Do you think they want that? They don't want to do that. It costs them money to do it, but they have to do it because there are these people that are assholes and degenerates that are basically imposing their will on everybody else. And that's the reason why in order to even make the game playable, you have to have these imposing rules placed on everybody else. So all of these psycho degenerate people are shackling everybody else with their bullshit. And that is basically what keeps happening, is they keep stepping over the line, and then you have to make more rules. And then they step over the line again, and you have to make more rules. And that's what keeps happening over and over again.
I'm just going to say it. I think that a lot of people try to transition their kids for social points. I think they do.
I agree, 100%.
And I actually think it's that simple. They try to transition their kids for social points, or they do it.
Nerodia says trans people need to speak up also if they don't want to be dragged down into it. Yes. I think that is one way to combat it, for sure. But what I will say is specifically with the trans stuff and a lot of the LGBT stuff is I think it's too late. To be honest, I think it's too late. Luckily for gamers, it was not too late. It could have happened to us too. It could, guys. It almost happened to gamers. Almost, really, really close. We literally got it at the very, very end and pushed them out, like at the very, very, very end, right? It could have easily happened to us. But I think that their community is already like almost completely like hijacked already. It could still happen. I mean, it could. Anything can happen, but I think the odds of it like happening are very low. I think their community is freaking. I think it's already ideologically captured by like extremists. I think so. Look at AAA games. We were totally hijacked. Yeah, but like that's not really the end, right? Whereas like this is already the end game for like the like once like laws start happening federally, then it affects LGBT people, right?
Because this is some ideology and the kid plays along with it because it's a good way for the kid to get attention from the parents, right? And so that's it. And so this happens. You're right about that? Yeah. And this is what Karens do. And I'm sure, you know, guys do this too, but it sure seems like it's primarily women that are pushing this. But the point is still the same. I mean, it doesn't matter who's doing it. It's bad no matter what. The point is that that's the reason why it's happening. It's not happening because they really believe it. They're doing it for some kind of approval or some like deep-seated resentment of men or something like that. So yeah, pick me guys. Yeah, probably just mentally ill. Well, regardless of what the reason is, I think that this is my mindset. I think that if you're trying to transition a 3-year-old, you are mentally unfit to be a custodian parent. Period. And that's being generous. Like, it really, I mean, this is not even like, if you're planning on, you know, doing sex operations on a child at 8 or 9 years old, you are not, you need to have your medical license revoked immediately. I can't even understand how, where this, you shouldn't be around children, period. You can't.
Dude, it's fucking crazy how much damage that one guy did. That one scientist guy that was doing all those sex experiments. And he released all those documents that people like follow to this day. Dude, it's crazy. Like the amount of damage that guy did is insane. Actually, like one person. It's really, really funny because like you think about it, you really think about it, and there's like some cases in history of a single person, like a single individual person, causing ridiculous levels of damage. And like a single person with like even small, like even if there's like a little bit of people around them, but it's mostly like the one person that creates like all of this shit, right? Like if you think about it, like even with like Austrian painter and mustache man, like did he individually, like as a single person, have that much power to like create without like the people around him? Like I don't know if he did have like the solo damage capabilities of money. I think money had like way more solo damage, so did way more solo damage, I think. Like him and like that other guy that did the leaded gasoline thing, the tetraethyl lead guy, yeah, that guy too. Like it's so weird, like seeing like these like single individuals, like single spawn people, like one character causing an insane level of damage. Like if you think about it, like the mustache man thing was like a raid, right? It wasn't just like him. It was like an entire like guild of dudes that like kind of caused all those problems. But like in the case of, again, tetraethyl lead guy and money, it's like one person. It's crazy.
Trusted. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. These people need to be removed from society. Yeah. They want to give them puberty blocker.
Kinsey, is that the guy? Is that the heart attack guy? That lied on his research, and like so many people died because of it.
Yeah, I bet they do. And just because a kid says they want to be a fire truck doesn't mean that we should paint them red. Yeah. Well,
oh no. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of someone else. Yeah.
Also,
I know who you're talking about now. I know who you're talking about now. Sorry, I misunderstood.
That a lot of kids. This is what I think happens. Is that the parents, and this is what the dad said.
So what you're saying, it was a duo Q. Got it.
Is that some of these parents that are so captured by this like worldview or ideology, because they're so captured by it, and the kid probably, like, you think about the type of person that gets involved with stuff like this, probably a psychotic, crazy bitch, right? And so if you're a kid of this parent, well, and this is your mom, you're going to want to go along with what she says so she's nice to you and she doesn't treat you like shit, right? And so, of course, the kids are going to voluntarily go along with this.
It's so wild, though, that guy's shit is still affecting us to this day. It makes me think of, like, the Planned Parenthood people, too. Like, the Planned Parenthood people that they really wanted to, like, they wanted to mess with the black population. And, like, their institutions still exist to this day. It's fucking crazy. It's like,
because
it's so
that's
crazy.
The only way that they can be treated nicely by the parent. And I think that this happens, it happens with religious extremism, it happens with political extremism, it happens with this type of extremism. I think it happens with everything, right? And it's insane. I probably would have gone along with it too. Yeah, I think a lot of kids would have. And because they don't have the problem, and this is the issue that a lot of kids have, and this is why it's important not to do this kind of stuff to kids, is because they don't have any frame of reference to understand what is the difference between being a man or a woman. They don't get it. They don't even understand it. So you're taking a complex adult idea of transgenderism, and you're pushing it on a child in a very narrow view from their mind of what makes sense.
It's also so ridiculous. Like that whole thing is so ridiculous. It's like, oh, if you like, you know, if you're, again, I go back to the femboy and the tomboy thing. It's the same thing. It's like, oh, you're a girl, but you like guy stuff. Guess you're a guy then, right? Oh man, have I told the story in a video yet? The story about my friend from before that told me they were trans. Did I ever tell the story? I know I've told the story on stream, but did I ever tell it in the video? I have. I told it on a YouTube video. No. Okay, let me tell you a story. This is a true story. This is a true story. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. I had a friend one day, right? And so my friend messaged me, and my friend goes, Leaflit, I have some news. And I was like, yes, yeah, what's up, man? Oh, yeah. I'm trans, by the way. And I'm like super happy about it. And literally everybody fucking glazed them. Everyone, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Oh my God, yes, yes, yes. Everybody was telling them that, right? I was the only one who told them. I said, are you sure about this? Right? And they said, yeah. I'm sure because of these reasons. And I told them, I said, listen, if you're trans and you find this out, and like, you know, you take the time to think about it, you know, you take the time to think about it, you've given it a lot of thought, and then you come back to me and you tell me like, yeah, you know, I figured it out. I thought about it a lot. Yeah, this is definitely what I want. I told them I will support you 100%. But hear me out. Just because you're a boy that likes girl things and you like to be cute does not mean you have to be a girl. You can be a boy and be into cute things. You can be a boy and you could like to wear cute clothes. There's nothing wrong with that, and don't let anybody fucking tell you that you cannot be that. So if you are okay with being a guy, and the only thing is that you want people to accept that you like girly things, that is the wrong reason for doing this kind of thing. And I told them, I want you to make sure that you think about it and you really put some thought into it. And like, maybe you should go to therapy or something. I don't know. Maybe you should talk to some other people and really put your thoughts to paper and make sure that this is actually what you think before you do anything. Because everyone was telling them, oh yeah, you know, like go get some meds, go take these hormones, go do that, go to the doctor right now and go get that done. And I'm the only one who told them not to do it. And you want to know what fucking happened? 3 years later, I think it was 3, is it 3 or 2? This person DMs me out of nowhere. And they told me, Leaflit, you fucking saved my life. I realized that you were right. I am okay with being a man. I just like girly things. And I like to dress like in cute clothes. And you saved my life. You're the only one that stopped me from doing this to myself. And I was like, well, I'm glad that you're happy. And again, if they said the opposite, if they said, hey, Leaflit, by the way, I found out, you know what? I put a lot of thought into it. And you know what? Yeah, you know what? I do want to be a girl. I'd be like, okay, sure. Like that's great. I'm happy for you. But the point is you do not have to be a girl if you're a guy that likes girly things. You don't have to be a guy if you're a girl that's into guyish things. And like the fact that like we have made that the case is absolutely fucking retarded to me. And it pisses me off. That's the story.
Insane. They don't know any better. They trust their parents are going to do things to their best interest. They can't comprehend the topics. Yeah, exactly. And when the boy's 15, he wishes he's a girl. Well, I don't know about being 15, right? I mean, I'd say 15, you've got a better idea of who you are than 3. I'd tell you that. I think anybody'd say that. And so anyway, yeah. So poor kid was groomed. He was. She belongs in prison. Absolutely. It hurts to watch. I couldn't even imagine having to go through this. Yeah, it's awful. Unwatchably sad and shocking to me. It makes me so...
He's doing fine. He's fine. He's doing
him
fine.
And the poor boy. This is why it's important to never vote for anybody who makes any kind of defense.
Puka Nini says, what happened to being comfortable with who you are? That's the key to it. And if that involves you, doing your best to like be, you know, to try to like be as much as you can be to like the other sex, then fine. In my opinion. I mean, like, if you want to do that, then fine. Like I don't have a problem. My problem is like the ideology that like that's a decision that should be taken lightly. That's the thing that I have a problem with.
For this. So, like, this is my mindset. I would say that if anybody tries to defend this, never vote for them
Dude,
for any reason.
it pisses me off so much that like everybody was basically like, you know, slay queen, like yeah, yeah, go do that, like, you know, so happy for you, wow, like so brave. Like I got so mad, I got so angry because I was like, how do you, what, I understand like wanting to be there for somebody, but like, dude, like sometimes telling people like sometimes doing the harder thing and telling like a friend something that they probably don't want to hear is probably like, you know, like just to like make sure that you're there for them and like that's what they actually want. And again, like if your friend figures that out and that is actually like what they want, then like, you know, like I said, like I'm fine with that. I accept that. But to say that there's no social pressure towards people being pushed in that direction is crazy. Because it's very obvious that there's a lot of societal pressure. At least there used to be. I mean, it's getting a little bit less now. But before, like, you know, maybe 3 years ago, there was a lot of social pressure for people to head in that direction if they even were even slightly close to that. If they were even slightly like gender deviant, it was like basically they were fast tracked basically into that lane. And I thought that was awful.
There's no justification for this. There's no situation where it's okay. Even if you side with people that are okay with this, that still, in my opinion, is a complete disqualifier. This is sick, disgusting, and I think these people should be put in jail. I do. And if the moment that somebody actually comes up there that's more extreme than Trump or Vance about this, I'll vote for them to put these.
Wait, did that happen? That happened to you too? Optimistic? Man. I'm glad that you're good. Really, truly.
People in jail. Because I do. And if the moment that somebody actually comes up there that's more extreme than Trump or Vance about this, I'll vote for them to put these people in jail.
Damn.
Because I think this is child abuse. It's child grooming.
I agree.
It's disgusting. And it has to stop. It does. Yeah. And nobody should be tolerating this even in a slight amount. I cannot wait for the person to run for election that's going to put these people in jail, because and I think a lot of other people are going to vote for that on just that issue. I can.
Yeah, me too.
Not wait.
Me too.
I am so excited. And yeah, let's see. Thank you for saying this. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for commenting. Yeah, and I understand.
It's ridiculous and it's harmful to these people. And if you want to see that happen, I mean, if you want to actually see cases of it happening, there are plenty of like detransitioners. You can look at their stories on YouTube. People will try to bury it and try to hide it and pretend like that doesn't exist, because again, it like completely fucks with the message. But there are a lot of people that kind of got pushed into like this pipeline that like years later they discovered that actually wasn't the case for them, and they detransition and they lose so much from it, right? Because like, you have women who basically got psyoped into thinking that they're men, and then they cut off their breasts, and then now that they discover like, oh, you know, that's actually wrong, like, oh shit, everybody like pushed me into this direction, that's not me. But now they already cut off their breasts, right? Like that's such a fucking tragedy, you know? Like, man.
People, you know, it's like, this is, you know, you might think this is extreme. I don't think this is extreme. I think that I'm the normal one. These people are the ones who are extreme.
Yeah, and again, there's so many of these stories. Like, this isn't like, if you want to watch them, you can watch them on YouTube. Maybe someday we'll take a look at them. But that's going to stir, man, that's going to stir the hornet's nest. Holy fuck. People are really going to get mad at me if we watch that shit.
That's it.
Oh boy.
And I can't make you vote
You haven't seen anything. If I watch that shit, oh god.
for Trump now. Well, I mean, I literally just said Trump isn't putting these people in jail. So like, why would I vote
I'm
for
gonna go
Trump
fucking
if
Max
this
on
is
me,
an
dude.
issue that matters so much to me? And I say Trump's not putting these people in jail. Why would this be an indicator that I'm voting for Trump? It doesn't make sense. And so anyway, let's see here. I'll read who puts the flags on the post. Probably people that just don't want to hear about it and they don't want to see it happen. Or do you care if you vote for Trump? Yeah, I don't know. This video has extraordinary claims. I know, but there's court documents and references, and the school got shut down, and it's all proven. So that's the problem. Is like I agree with you. Like extreme claims require extreme evidence, but unfortunately, this does seem like there is an extreme amount of evidence for this. We're extremely against this. They're extremely for it. Yeah. And again, I will be waiting for the person who will.
Mr. Eckley says, "What if I want to transition to anime though? I mean VR chat or VTubing? I don't know."
Not literally, but metaphorically crucify.
Wait for the
people that
Ghibli
do
filter,
this.
the auto
And I will
Ghibli
vote
filter
for
in
that
your
person
brain.
for that
Neural
sole
link.
reason. Their other issues are not important. Why not literally? I
It
think
is
it's like,
probably like one of the most important issues because we're talking about the safety of children.
Eighth Amendment. You're not able. It's like cruel and unusual punishment. You're not allowed to do it. That's the only reason. Yeah, obviously. Trump did make it illegal for medical experts to transition a minor. It's a good start, and I was glad that Trump did that. But I think that should only be the beginning. You have to root this out at the very.
Oh my god, dude! How many people got mad at Asmongold for this video? Must have been fucking a lot.
At the very bottom, and yeah. Let's see here. Chemically castrate parents and doctors. I don't know about the parents chemically castrating them. I don't know about that. But yeah, I mean, this stuff makes me furious. And I think that if it's not making you furious, I wonder why. Like, not that there's anything wrong with you, but like, you're a weirdo. But this is disgusting, right? Kidnap your son, live abroad. Kidnapping is like illegal. How can you make...
I have 3 issues that are like auto vote for me. This is one of them. The other one is guns. And then there's a third one.
Make an argument to legality whenever legality has created an outcome that's transitioning an 8-year-old. Like, I don't know. I mean, I would feel like, if the law has created an outcome...
And actually, the third one, I don't agree with Asmongold on. That's one point where me and Asmongold don't agree on stuff.
That allows an 8-year-old to be forcibly transitioned and...
And money is good, but money's not that important, to be honest. I mean, it's important, but in the grand scheme of like things that are like of utmost absolute necessity, I don't think money is really factors. It is good. Like, obviously you want to have more money in the hands of people, less taxes, but it's not like a critical issue to me, I think.
By his mother and other people in his life, then maybe the law isn't necessarily the best decision maker, right? And what a retard commenter. Yeah, I guess so. But anyway.
Optimistic pessimist says that I think fetuses should have guns. I'm just imagining like a fucking self-defense shooting in that case. Like, oh my god, dude. Just came out in my freaking brain like a freaking ultrasound self-defense like you have freaking ASP like doing a fucking breakdown. You have a freaking donut doing a breakdown of an ultrasound video. I can't.
Yeah, this is what happens, is that people like this have to report. And the reason why, keep in mind, the reason why there are so many reports for this is because these people can't stand to see this happen, and they don't want to see this get out to the public. And the reason why the people are afraid of this story is because they know that they're wrong. They know that any normal person watching this and reading this story will see how disgusting and weird it is and immediately turn against them. So that's why they're trying to report it and shut it down, is because they know that what they're doing is evil. They know what they're doing is disgusting. And so they're doing everything that they can to hide the evidence.
I don't think that's true, actually. So, like...
doing is disgusting.
I don't think they know that. I think that what they think... They think that they're doing the right thing. and that the ends justify the means, and that they can do literally anything in between that.
And so they're doing everything that they can to hide the evidence because they know that if it makes to the light of day, that they're going to be done. That's it.
But
Wolf
yeah,
Doctor?
I do think though that they don't like, they do not like defending their positions, basically, because it's very hard to.
Preying on children? Yep, exactly. Anyone doing this needs to be put away. Exactly. Viral, what's the video, brother? Just tuned in. It's from Soft White Underbelly on YouTube. I apologize, I don't have a link. It was just posted on Reddit. Usually their interviews are longer, so I would assume there's probably more to this, but this is at least an excerpt of it. So yeah, thanks for bringing awareness to these issues. Yeah, it's disgusting, and I don't really know what else to say about it besides that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with Asmon's take on that. It's awful, and just think about all of the people that all of the kids that are going to be affected by this. I mean, again, we have an actual case before of we have cases of kids, you know, growing up and then detransitioning, and in some cases even taking their own lives because of this. It's definitely a lot, especially in these cases. It's a lot of people that are using the plights of groups of people that have problems in life, and they are using that for their own benefit, and it's disgusting. Anyway, that's my take on it.